Hey everyone, it is Vortie and welcome back to another video on Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. It is a crazy day. Oh man, I almost took the day off of work when I saw how many freaking updates there were this morning. I almost took it off, but then I was like, oh man, I got a lot of work to do, so I convinced myself not to go. So, I'm sure you guys have already seen it. It's been a whole day, almost a whole day. Since they made a bunch of different announcements. We're going to go through all of those right away to kind of talk about them a little bit. And then the individual ones we will definitely break apart into more detail. And the most important part is going to be that we're going to be looking at most of these. Oh, girl, am I stuck in here? Please don't tell me. Oh, I am at the start too, I think. How much did we do? Oh, good. I just got in here. I must have done something. Give up. So most of these events we're just going to chat a little bit about because they're just kind of like announcements, and then everything, wow, 106 energy. They're announcements, and we just kind of cover them a little bit. And some of the other ones, what they're about is literally they're talking about like new things that are going to be added, but that's going to become effective as of maintenance tonight. So most of that information is going to become available tomorrow, and we can kind of break them apart in depth more. But I do have enough information to kind of at least skim by it. Let me see if my googly is up. My googly, man. My oogly googly. Just gonna pop up Google as well so that I have, what was I gonna say? That'd be Reddit. So I'm gonna jump on the Reddit website and I'll show you guys as always. I'll give out a shout out. A shout out. Shout out. As you guys can see, I literally just walked into the house, made some coffee, and then jumped right on. I'm actually a little bit out of breath right now. Heart rate, 95. Thank you, Apple Watch, for your information. I think that's what I clicked on. Yeah, that's the one. Perfect. All right, let's get into the goodies. The oodie booty goody goodies. So first and foremost, some updates over here. So this is my new TM group. So I'm just gonna point them out a little bit. So I'm actually gonna get this. I think I might have use for the Venomous Edge a little bit later. So I'm going to start on this right away because Paralyze and Poison is really, really nice. Especially Paralyze on a dagger is nice to have. So I'm going to get that out of the way and I'm going to pick that up. I'm still working on Gavgarian. My first one here is at 65%. I'm also going to get Randy's weapon because it's non-elemental. This is going to become useful as the game progresses. Actually, it's useful now, but I should have got it right away, but whatever. For whatever reason, I stopped. I got my third Blade Mastery almost finished. It was at like 80% and I forgot about her. So she's back in here grinding. And then my third Quick Assault. So what that means is that my second Quick Assault is up and live. As you guys can see, it's right there. So there's the two Quick Assaults. I got 30, 30, 30 and Blade Mastery on him, and then the weapon. So I think this is pretty much the best you can do on Orlando right now. He's pretty beastly right now. So that's that. And the other thing I did here is there he is. Let's see, where the cheesecake is he? Dual cast. So I finally got my second dual cast. So now my tank has dual cast on him as well, so he can actually heal really well. And these things are on here just for fun, so don't get confused. This was exactly what I was running for Ifrit raids and those shenanigans. So anyways, now to the itty bitty greedy thingamajiggy. So let's go through the list. We'll start off down here when they announce the maintenance. So the good news is I can't actually wait for this. It couldn't come any sooner. We're getting the Cactor Duins. Freaking fantastic. And the reason why is I got a lot of things I need to level up, especially because of the new event that's coming out, and we'll cover that in a minute. So I gotta get my Minfilia up and maxed. Zon, I think I'm gonna max out Zon as well. I probably want to max out your Stola as well and get her maxed out, just so I have a secondary style healer, somebody I can play around with and use. And I think my Luca is almost maxed out. I think she needs like a few more levels, so I'm gonna max those out. So I will have all those healers I require. Right? So this is a good time for the Cactor Joints to come out because there's a bunch of crap coming out that's gonna be very important. So I might end up wasting some lapis on that. Next, we're going to be getting 5 times the friend points. So when you bring a friend along, you get 5 times the friend points, which is pretty good. So during the week from the 12th to the 20th, earn 5 times the usual amount of friend points for bringing a companion to battle. That's pretty beastly. So in accordance to that as well, you'll also have a chance to receive one of the following anytime you perform a friend summon. So you can get a Metal Cactor, Minotaur and Cactor, and a Metal Gigantor. Nice, so you can even get the highest level one. So you can get the first 3 tiers of Cactors and Gill Snappers, which is super badass. Which means going to summon here, and then going into your friend summon here, standard summons, you're going to be able to summon it. As you can see, I've been maxed out on friends points for a long time. So I've been waiting for something like that to come around, so I can waste those points, man. They've been just sitting there doing nothing. Alright. Next, the Rooney Egg Seeker's second week update. By a quick glance here, you don't really see a bunch of shenanigans going on here, except that these things are hyped up here, and they talk about nothing else. So really, they talk about the recipes, and that's it. So really, all they added was this portion right here in this area. So the Innkeeper just got stock on Pure Crests. This ability awakening material can help your units reach their full potential. So there's a chance to get this stuff. So my advice to you between today, tomorrow, and whenever you see this video, or however long the event's gonna last, stack up on whatever materials you need for the future. So kind of think about it. We know which units are going to be getting enhancements by what's going on in the Japanese version. So if you buy something for a future unit, you can actually take a look at which crystals or what are they calling it here? Which pure crysts they're going to be using. So it's up to you. My advice is to pick them up in advance, especially if you can right now, for the units that you want to use. So don't go like, for example, let's say that the red one here is used for whatever. I think it's strength-based characters or whatever the hell it is, attack characters. But let's say they're used for, let's say, a future character like Warrior of Light. For example, Warrior of Light is going to get that. And we know when Warrior of Light gets his 6-star, he's going to be a beast. But let's say that he also has amazing ability that he's going to be able to get when he gets his enhancements. And why not pick up more of those rather than picking up maybe a green when you're not even going to use the character that the green can use on, right? So be strategic about which ones you pick up. I'm going to go right ahead and say it. These probably are not going to be very cheap right off the bat, because they're worth 100,000. Like these big ones, worth 100,000 event currency going forward. Once this event ends, when we get the next King Mog event, they're going to be worth 100,000. So expect them to be pricey even now. All right, cool. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump into the next one, man. And who is it? It is the Dangerous Woman Tour update. So Ariana Grande is back in the game again, and they're revisiting her for those people who were not able to get her originally. So make sure you pick her up. She is a free unit. Just pick her up, level her up. You know, you never know when you might need her. Is she really good? The new material that they're giving her, is it really good? It kind of is interesting, but I'm not 100% sure. So in the meantime, I can't make any direct comments, but I'll show you what I mean. So you can read that on your own. Event period is from the 14th to the 21st, which is going to be this whole week, Friday to Friday. So obtain Ariana Grande's unit, which is the Dangerous Ariana, after clearing the first stage. Same thing that happened from the first time. Easy peasy. Her Trust Mastery hasn't changed. It's the same shenanigans. Her Limit Burst hasn't changed. So she goes from 4-star to 6-star. Nothing has changed here. She's got some materials here on how to awaken her. Nothing changes. Her thingamajiggies all look to be the same. I'm hoping, yeah, they all seem to be the same. Then the stage update. So clearing the first one, you'll get 100 lapis. Achieving rewards. Dangerous Ariana is in your party and you beat Encore. Oh, sorry. Huh? Encore. So anyways, Dangerous Ariana is in the party. When you clear it, you'll get a materia called Encore. It gives you magic 15%, hit points 10%, and grants only Ariana Grande the ability to dual cast when it has this materia equipped. So she gets the 15% magic, 10% hit points, and dual cast, which is, I guess, okay, or pretty cool, I guess. You get a 4-star Trust Moogle, and then as long as nobody dies, you'll also get a summoning ticket. So I think everybody gets this because it's an update, so we will all be able to get all this again. Now, the only thing I don't know is if you have Ariana Grande already, do you get her again when you beat it the 4th? I don't know. That's something we're gonna have to see. Down here, yeah. So that is the new material that they updated to make her better. Down here for crafting, nothing has changed. And that's that. So that's Ariana Grande. She's coming back. She is coming back, and she is, I guess, a little bit better. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see if anything happens. Next, trial bosses. We get new trial bosses. Okay, so it says a new quest awaits in the vortex within the chambers of the fallen. So you're gonna be fighting Dark Ifrit and Dark Siren. So face 2 bosses at once. It's very tricky. So Dark Siren and Dark Ifrit will be available to fight in the dimensional vortex after the maintenance. I think, is it? We'll see in a second. So it says here, here's some info for you, Kupo, on Dark Siren. Weak against fire, Kupo. Thanks, bud. Uses powerful confusion attacks, so be sure to protect against confusion, Kupo. So she's going to be casting status ailments. Cool. Uses powerful water and dark combo attacks, so be sure to blast your elemental resistance, Kupo. Great. Thanks a lot, bud. Bird Killer is particularly effective, so they have her marked down as an avian. So you will be able to do use Bird Killer to damage her. Next one is Dark Ifrit here. He's weak against ice, says Kupo. He uses powerful fire and dark combo attacks. So be sure to blast your elements, which is the same thing as our friend up there, which I think might be water and dark, fire and dark. She can also cast wind, by the way. Yeah, just from what I remember in the Japanese version, wind, yeah. And he is a beast, so you can use Beast Killer to be able to damage him. Cool. So here are the interesting things about them. The stage clear reward. So just clearing the stage reward, doesn't matter how many times you die or anything, just by beating them, you will get a very good accessory. Attack plus 30. That's a flat rate. That is amazing for those people who have other abilities that boost your stats by percent. Right? So 30 attack is huge. It'll also give you 10% resistance to fire and sorry, what am I saying? Attack 30, hit points plus 10%, fire resistance plus 20%, and it gives you, it nulls blind, so you become immune to blind. I don't know where I was going with that 10%, but yeah, so hit points 10%, attack 30, fire resistance 20, and immune to blind. It's actually a really, really nice accessory for a lot of damage dealers. Really, for any melee damage dealer, this is amazing, because especially with blind, if your unit gets blinded, I'm sure if you guys have seen it, when a unit or a melee unit is blind, they're pathetic. They're useless. They barely hit. It's like 99% chance to miss. That's pretty much what it is. So that's for completing it. So as long as you win, doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win, you'll get that. Next, clearing the quest, initial completion as well as the reward, you will get 100 lapis. Congratulations. It says here, mission accomplishments, evoke Siren and Ifrit. So while fighting them, if you summon Siren and Ifrit, you will get a 5-star trust mogul, which is 10% to your units. If you clear without anybody dying, you're going to get an actual pretty good sword mastery here. It's large sword mastery, boosts attack, and I think it's by 50% if I remember correctly. I think I wrote it down here. Hang on! Stop it! Large sword material. It doesn't say. I lied. It doesn't say. It doesn't even say on Reddit yet. So I don't know if that's going to be 50%. It's probably going to be 50%. Large sword mastery by 50%, which would be pretty good. If it's 50%, that's fantastic. Even if it's 30%, that won't be that bad, because then you can stick that on, what do you call it? On your Orlando, who will get a 30% boost from the greatsword anyways. Then you can use like a 30% materia on someone else or whatever. Or if you don't have the materia, you can use this. So that's for, you get that for nobody dying, which might be a little bit hard. And then beating it with 5 people or less, you'll get Siren's Robe, which is defense 30, magic and spirit plus 40, which is badass. And then your unit becomes immune to silence and sleep. Oh my god, that is crazy. Having silence and sleep immunity on a healer is dope, or any kind of caster. That is really, really, really dope. So with a new event or challenge or trial, there's going to be some units that they're going to try and encourage and say these are the units that are going to be good for that event, because they either do some dark damage or some fire damage or some water damage, or they're immune to confusion or something, or another, whatever you want to say. So Medius obviously is getting a 6-star, or he has a 6-star already. They got Lightning, Mercedes at 7. So all of these units somehow will be able to help you defeat that event because of the elements they cover. Plus I think 7's TM makes you immune to everything, which is pretty cool. All right, so that's that in a nutshell. I will be talking about this in detail in a follow-up video where we're going to be talking about really what the strategy is going to be, because I have a strategy for it, and I'll share that with you guys. It's going to be what I'm going to be using on day one. That's that. So we already knew about this. Ability Awakening update is here, and these are the units that are going to be getting the initial release. Alright, so you got Kuja, Lid, Rain. Lid, which is super stupid, but whatever. You got Kuja, Lid, Rain. You got Fina, Krill, Roselia, and then the notable units that are okay. You got Mercedes, Lightning, Medius, and Seven. So those are the first batch of units we're going to be getting. And then I think every week going forward, if it follows the Japanese schedule, like every week we should be getting something, like maybe like 2 or 3 units every week, or every other week we should be getting some more enhancements going forward. That's if it follows the Japanese version. So a quick overview is that you're going to have this new button on your screen. You're going to click on it, and then if you have the required element, the move will become kind of highlighted. When you click on it, it'll say if you if you want to awaken this ability, it's going to look like this, and it's going to add a little bit +1 beside it, and then it changes, and then it gets that effect. Alright, so here it is. It's actually showing it. So this is what it looks like. When you click on this button, enhance button, the abilities that you can actually enhance are going to be highlighted, so you can actually click on them. Otherwise, you can't. If you click on Crushing Blow, it brings you to a second screen that kind of shows you what the ability is, what it's going to go to, and then what materials you require. As you can see here, to get Crushing Blow +1, you're going to need a bunch of this weak crap, like the Power Alchrist, Power Milk Crest, I can barely see them, Heavy Crest, Giant Crest, and then Power Crest. You need 2, think about this, 2 of the 100,000 point or raid coins, or whatever you want to call them, the King Mog currency. So you need 100,000 for 1. There's 2, so that's 200,000 you're going to require just to awaken that ability you want. It's gonna be the bottleneck of bottlenecks right now. You're gonna be sitting there farming and busting your balls, or your butt, or your face, or your nails, or grinding to the bone, whatever you want to call it, to just get those stones so that you can awaken the units you're looking for. This is what brings me back to the first thing I said earlier in the video. You need to be strategic on which units you actually awaken abilities on. Don't, for example, like Medius right now, that's like the big chat because he gets this kind of like mini dual wield. Everybody wants to put shit into him. Like, come on, easy, slow down, cowgirl. Are you really going to be using Medius? Like, if Medius is really your best unit, then go for it. But if you have a 5-star base, any 5-star base, they're probably better to be investing your Chris into. It's just my opinion, right? Maybe your unit that you have doesn't have their awakening yet. That's fine, but just hold on to it, right? Think about it. Like, if you get an excess amount of those power crystals, freaking go for it. Like, waste it into it. But please be smart. You might waste that, and then you might get a unit that's a little bit better, and then you're stuck. So that's all I'm saying. Is just think it through. Be smart. Don't don't do any of that crazy stuff where you're like, oh, I got this, and then you do it, and then you gotta screw yourself. Okay. But again, I will be making videos on this and covering this more in detail when it goes live, and I will be going through the first few that I'm going to do. I will go through them with you guys. So now, they give us the breakdown of what these are. So as I was kind of right about it, it's about attack. So white Alchrists are white magic, black is black magic, green is green magic, red is power, which is for attack, yellow is for guarding, which is defense, blue is for healing, support Alchrist, which is like the light green or lime green, is for support abilities, and then the off-white, whatever you want to call it, pinkish, white, whatever that is, Tech Alchrist is for enhances all other abilities, right? So they give you a breakdown of what they are. So that way when you collect them, you know what it is. My advice is just stack the crap out of them, as many as you can get, so that you don't have to worry about it later. So you will be able to obtain materials to awaken the abilities from the Chamber of Gems. You're going to be able to get these crappy style of gems. If I remember correctly, you can get the first 3. So the first one is from the weakest tier, then the next tier, then the third tier you will be able to get these guys. I don't think you can get these I can't remember the Japanese version. I really have never paid attention to it because I've actually never awakened an ability because I don't care. But now I care. It's on global. So I don't remember if these are in there. But for a fact, we know that the highest level ones are not going to be covered, all right? We know that for a fact. So that's that. And then Awakened Warriors, we just looked at that. Yes, we did. And then we just look at the featured summon here, and then we're going to finish it off in about a minute or two. So, bad banner. Don't summon. And we'll just leave it at that. Okay, the only thing I'm going to go over is they've changed a few things here, and we'll just kind of cover it. My advice, personally, is don't spend on this banner. All of these units here are out of date. I know the Medius got his 6-star, which is okay, and these units all get their enhancements, but I don't think they're worth summoning for. Unless you just need lightning and you've always wanted lightning, then go for it just for collectability. But as far as these units go, none of these units here are gonna change anything for you, right? Like, lightning is not going to make or break the game for you if you have other 5-star based units, like if you have Orlando or Olive or even Lunith or any of those characters. They're better than lightning. Lightning has some elemental abilities which make her useful, but like, unless you really want her, then I wouldn't pull. That's the bottom line for this banner. These units are not going to be game changing. They've already been in the game for a long time, and it's really your preference. My opinion is not to do it. All right, so the thing I want to cover is they changed how they are presenting the stats to us. Before, it was kind of like a chart, and people were like, whoa, they look so good. Well, now it's just like a graph, sort of, and then the strongest ability on them is highlighted in this like yellow, red thing, saying like the heat map is like that's what they are focused on. This helps you break apart what they are. Lightning is an attacking unit. She's a physical damage dealer. Easy to see here, as you can see, right? Attack. She's got a great attack. Everything else is pretty good as well. Her MP is good. Her hit points is amazing. Her, what do you call it? Her TM is alright. I wouldn't farm it. If you get it, but I wouldn't farm it. We already know everything about her. She gets dual wield at max level. She learns Crushing Blow, which is an amazing move that lowers lightning resistance, plus has a boost in abilities. Then you have Mercedes here, amazing TM that gives her a two-handed axe, 125 damage. However, it is a elemental-based damage of water, so it becomes useful sometimes, and if they're immune to water, then not very useful. She's also a physical damage dealer, as you can see. Overall, the unit she's pretty good. She's okay. For a physical damage dealer, she's okay. She learns Warcry, which is a boost attack for all allies. Later on, she gets an enhancement where that Warcry does 100% buff for attack for everyone. She gets some water resistance as well. This gets enhancement, but we'll go over that later. Sorry, I'm trying to speed up a little bit to get through these things, and I'll focus on them in a different video. Good old 7. Same thing, physical damage dealer. Her TM nullifies poison, blind, sleep, silence, paralysis, confusion, disease, and stone. Which is the reason that I think she's being picked as one of the banner units because of her TM. Plus, she has the ability to boost all element resistances for herself. She also has Divine Strike, which reduces the spirit of an enemy, which you're going to need for reducing against Siren, but we'll talk about that later. She can also damage and then reduce fire, ice, lightning resistance for one enemy. So she's, again, a useful unit for this event. Overall, you don't need her. Medius is just a badass dual-wielding mofo. He looks really, really cool. His attack animations are really badass. Everything about him is badass, except the fact that he sucks. Overall, his damage is lackluster. He does get an ability where you enhance him, and he gets dual-wield with guns. This is going to bump up his damage a little bit, and he's going to be able to do some more damage. However, it's not going to be enough for him to stay relevant and up to date to the other damage dealing units that are going to be easier to gear. Alright? Let me repeat that. That are going to be easier to gear. Think about that carefully. He's dual wielding guns. The only two guns that are really good in the game right now is one, Sparky's. Okay, and the other one is the Romandian pistol, which is Mustadio's gun. Think about that. Those are the really good ones. If you don't have those, then you're wasting. You're just gonna pick up this unit and you're gonna max out the 6-star and you're gonna enhance his ability and then you're gonna what? Give him 2 crappy pistols? I'm not sure if that's worth it. So that's my opinion. And think about it however you want. Do I think he looks badass? hell yeah, he looks badass. And I like the fact that he's one of the cooler looking gunners, but right now he's just not going to live up to the hype people are saying that he is because he gets the dual wield ability. Right? His TM is growth leg, which increases your experience by 2 times the experience. He gets gun mastery, which will increase his damage by 20% when he equips a gun, which blows. He should be more like 100%. Hyperfire, where he just randomly attacks enemies, kind of like Barrage. Blazing Glory, who will deal partially unmitigated damage to one enemy, which is his strongest hitting move. But again, overall, the banner itself is just one of the... What the hell are you doing? Can you go? Can you not? So the banner itself is just... I think it's just a money sink, and it's just they needed something to put in for this event, so they're just going to throw these characters out there. Again, my personal opinion to you guys is save your Lapis for the next unit banner. Unless you really, really want Lightning or Mercedes or 7, don't summon. All of these other units, like I'm not mentioning Medius because I don't think he's really worth your Lapis, okay? But yeah, anyway, so that's going to be the video. Going over everything. The next video that's going to be coming out later on in the day is going to be me talking about the event and as well as the enhancements that these characters are going to be getting a little bit more in detail. So if you wanted to see that, definitely wait till a little bit later today and I'll be getting that posted up for you guys the second it's finished. Alright, so thank you so much for sticking around. I did try to rush everything all into one video to keep it full of action for you guys, so hopefully you liked it. So hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and definitely subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Vortie, and I'm out of here. Peace!